during this time, we're talking to her just like we're talking to y'all, just like a regular conversation. And we had, Kate had, you know, voluntary squeezes, and they'd say, you know, that's all involuntary, it's real natural with someone with a brain injury. But she would have that, and before she could even totally wake up, she would blink her eyes and be able to communicate with us. Well, I'm telling the nursing staff and the doctors there at Denver Health, and they're basically saying I'm crazy. So as you'll see during our story, you'll find out I wasn't really popular with them. But I'm telling them, I know that she's squeezing my hands at cue. They said it's not possible. Well, one day, the great whiteboard incident was before we pulled her tracheotomy, so there was no way for her to speak, and her eyes were barely open. Her brother and I brought this chalkboard in, and we were just being guys and seeing if we could get any reaction. Well, Kate had taken her finger and grabbed around this pen, this little marker, and wrote, as a lot of brain injury people do, is super tiny, just teeny tiny, and it was on an angle. So Kate writes, and do you remember what
no,
we told? Kate writes, "Hi, my name is Kate Dendrinos," in tiny letters, and the correct number in 4 columns, her phone number, okay? Then she puts Kate's smiley face, like she always does, and then writes, "Give me a call sometime." So, and it's true. And so the nurse comes in, and it's Kate's handwriting, because, you know, I write like a caveman, kind of, you know, just the Texas cowboy way, just kind of scratch. But the nurse goes, "Which one of you two crazy guys did this?" And we said she did. And her brother and I are the only ones in the room. She goes, "I know there's no way that she wrote that." And we're like, "She did." We hand her the board. She can't talk, but and that's the correct number. And I don't put smiley faces at the bottom of it. And so the nurse just started bawling and ran out, and within probably 2 minutes, we had the whole neurological team at Kate's bedside just going, "There's something going on here. There's something, her right side's somehow helping her left side." Now, she hadn't spoken yet because the trache's in, and they weren't going to pull that tracheotomy until she was really stable. But that was our great whiteboard, and that's I think another milestone, what we consider is a miracle. But as we talk with folks, and a lot of the survivors will know, we really push patient advocacy. So, you know, we never knew what you should or should not do with someone with a brain injury. One thing that really is good is manipulation and leg foot massages. We'd always talk to her, as I mentioned earlier, as if she was awake. Encouraging her to open her eyes. Now, this is a place that I kind of frown on, but Kate can tell you about her brother and sister-in-law.
Well, I don't remember, as I always say, but stories I hear crack me up because I was still trached. To make somebody come over so I could do something they didn't know what, I'd just go, like, "Come here." Well, Shawn said that even when I was unaware, that my brother kept trying to force my eyes open with his hands. So when I did that to him, when I was out of the coma, did that to him, it was still trached, and my sister-in-law also. I tried to bite my brother, and I tried to smack my sister-in-law. Not hard, but just kind of go, "Leave me alone."
She did. They just messing with her.
I never lost my strength.
Yeah, her little Spitfire attitude. So she tried to bite her brother. I enjoyed that. But now we're rookies with brain injury. You've heard the low stim. We didn't know what low stimulation, meaning lighting like we have in here today, and no noise, no TVs, no. Well, we're thinking we're helping Kate. We're bringing in this jam box, and we weren't cranking up. We're bringing in her favorite Leonard Skinner, and we're cranking it up while she's in a coma or trying to get out. And they're like, "That's the worst thing you can do for a brain injury." But we were trying everything we could as advocates, and we tried to interpret these little motions or eye blinkings and that kind of thing. So our ignorance, I think, was bliss a lot of times when we talk with folks, because they're just like, you can't expect that with every brain injury sufferer. So we got to the point where her trach needed to be removed, and it wasn't clear, and it wasn't really pronounced, but it was speech.